Hello, hello, and welcome to this live. Okay, welcome in. A bumpy start. That's okay. We've got an interesting live prepared for you guys today. As you can tell, I am sporting. Oh no, we've got this happening again. For anyone that's watching right now, I'm having some weird echo happening on my end. So okay, I don't know. I unplugged my microphone. Can you guys hear me okay? Uh, uh, a lot of echo, and I really don't know why. This is frustrating. Let's see. Do I have StreamYard open in another tab? I don't think I do. You don't hear an echo, but I do, which is really weird. Sorry, I'm just trying to wait a minute here and pause and see if this is actually going to work. This was happening last time, and I don't know why, and I really wanted to just have a smooth start to the video, and now I'm feeling really unhappy with this. I might have to leave and set it up again, unless we're good now. Sorry, now I'm yelling. I think we're good. Okay. I'm just going to get rolling. Hopefully it's working now. Tell me if you guys can hear me and if we're all ready to go. Hello, welcome. I'm the Spiritual Genie. I have quite an interesting live prepared for you guys. We are going to be deep diving into the occult origins of the Burning Man Festival. And the reason why is because right now we have over 70,000 people. Well, it is Mercury retrograde. Let's see what 7 planets are in retrograde. So it's to be expected we're going to have a bumpy start. I mean, I guess that's just how it goes. I'm not a tech genius. I don't pretend to be, even though my name is Genie and genius. Get it? So we are going to deep dive into this Burning Man situation that's getting a little bit serious pretty quick here. Looks like somebody died. We do not know who that is at this time. Please smash the like button. Please like, share, subscribe if you love my vibe and want to become part of the tribe. You know, I would love to have you. Going to be offering a lot of cool stuff in the perks section of the membership section soon. So don't forget to check that out. And let's just get going here. Okay. We are going to deep dive into the occult symbolism around Burning Man. All that I have done, all that I have found in my investigations over the last couple of days, which I've done hours and hours of investigating, I have made some very interesting connections. And I've also been getting inspired from another creator who is doing something similar. And his name is Donut Factory. Shout out to you. Awesome channel. Breaking it down like adept style into the symbolism of all the symbols that we see in our world, right? All of the Illuminati symbolism and just, to clarify, this isn't to convince anyone. I'm not here to convince anyone that the Illuminati is real or, about conspiracy theories. I do a lot of research, and so I tend to look toward factual evidence to back up my claims. All right. So I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone here. If you're not like already on board, this probably isn't the live for you, or it's probably not the video for you if you're catching the replay. So welcome. If you are just coming in here for the first time, welcome back. If you are, I meant to change. I thought I changed the overlays just a little different. That's fine. If you're returning, welcome back. I love you, tribe. You're my vibe. And let's just dive right in. I know my tribe's already got their third eyes open, and you guys are probably excited to see what I have prepared for tonight. So go check out Donut's video. Like I said, he just did one on the Burning Man thing, and really breaking down a lot of the symbolism that he is kind of picking out. As he observes what's going on. And so I've been doing the same, and I've made some of my own correlations. And let's just see here what Manly P. Hall, right? I love Manly P. Hall. I've read a book by him that was Secret Teachings of All Ages. I do believe, I don't know if he's a Freemason. I think he might be. He definitely tells the secrets of the Freemasons, of the occult, of the sacred mysteries, and all of that. So I just wanted to start this out by reading a quote because, symbolism, he says, symbolism is the language of mysteries. By symbols, men have ever sought to communicate to each other those thoughts which transcend the limitations of language. So symbolism is all around you. The leaders that rule your world, thank you, are occultists, okay? All you have to do is just do some research, look into the symbology, follow the money, and you can see that your leaders are indeed very entangled in occult matters and have been all along. So everything that's been going on lately, very symbolic, okay? Falling on very symbolic dates. I've been heavy diving into like the Egyptian side of things, looking into the mythology aspect, looking into dates. I have definitely made some connections here that are worth taking a look at. Okay. So I just want you guys to always keep your eyes open to the symbolism that is around you. Okay. The ones that rule this world rule the world through symbolism. And what's funny is I wanted a different picture right there. Let me see if I can change it real quick. Probably not. Yeah, I'm going to change the overlay. Where are we at? So yeah, your leaders of the world operate through symbolism. Everything that's been going down lately has definitely been, there's been predictive programming, and there's just been a whole lot of symbolism to kind of, to tell us like what's coming if we know what to look for. So I'm starting to kind of put two and two together, like, okay, important events are happening on certain dates and at certain times. And it kind of gets a little crazy the more that you dive into all this stuff, because it's like you just start seeing so many connections, and you start thinking like, is it because I'm seeking this that my brain is like making all these connections? Or is it that, the connections are already there and I'm just observing them? So this is all of really ancient stuff, you guys. Like, I don't even know if I need to okay, let's just take a look. Okay, we've got this article right here from CNN. Death investigated at Burning Man while 70,000 festival attendees remain stuck in the Nevada desert after rain. I thought it was all really weird. Honestly, the fires in Maui, and then like the rain and all the things I've been learning about weather modification and all the little cookies that the government has their hands on inside the cookie jar, right? While we're all not looking. And all this stuff is out there. Like I said, I'm not here to prove anything to you. Like, you can go and look on government websites. There are documents, PDFs for weather modification, the directed energy weapons, things like that. So all this technology exists, and they're definitely very much using it, right? It's very magical, almost like it's Wizard of Ozzy, right? Which they do use in their symbolic mind control programming. So they're investigating a death while 70,000 people are rained into Burning Man. They're just stuck in the mud. The conditions are getting worse. People are running out of supplies. The porta potties are overflowing. I'm telling you, I'm very familiar with festivals and how, even though a lot of these people do know what they're doing, a lot of people that go, they don't, and they're very unconscious. And even though this event says that it's a conscious event, it's not. And if you follow the money, you're going to follow it right down the trail to guess who, like Google and BlackRock, and hence the name BlackRock Desert, right? Like, it's all alchemical and symbolic. But when you go down this path, you will find, like all these tech giants and these like business moguls and these Silicon Valley minds that go to Burning Man, right? And all of this is to basically gathering intel. Yes, gathering intel, gathering information to go ahead and take it back. People like Elon Musk go to Burning Man, okay? A lot of rich people. Chris Rock said he narrowly escaped, and all dramatic like. But no, it's pretty bad, I think. Yes, the gematria it's real. And so I feel like I'm fueling my brain with all this stuff on the daily. So try to stay with me, you guys, because I have like all these tabs and I have a bunch of stuff right here that it's all gonna connect. Okay. So Burning Man, right? The burning of the effigy of the man. It dates back to druidic and pagan fire ceremonies and rituals where they would burn an effigy of a man at certain times of the year, right? During the summer solstice. So what I found is, Burning Man definitely does happen, within the time of like the summer solstice months. And there's also correlations here with the flooding of the Nile. And that's kind of what I've been able to like piece together. So let's just look at the roots though of Burning Man here. Okay. Hold on, which tab am I on? Oh my god, I have like so many tabs. Here we go. All right, the fearsome wicker man, an eerie way druids committed human dun dun dun. You can read. So the wicker man is purported to be one of the means by which the ancient druids made human sacrifices. According to a number of classical authors, the druids partook in human though these authors usually did not specify the way these sacrifices were carried out. Nevertheless, probably not getting monetized on here on this video. It's fine. References to a form of druid human, yes, which utilized the wicker man, can be found in two classical sources. They say it's not connected, but it obviously is. And it even resembles the ritual that goes down at Bohemian Grove with the elites. And I believe that happens once a year, also around, I don't know if it's in the summer months. I'm finding all these correlating dates, which I do think is interesting. So yeah, it's definitely a druidic pagan fire festival where it's essentially stemming back to some ancient Egyptian worship of the sun. We've got like Babylonian worship of like actually, I think Semiramis. Yeah, I think Semiramis. We've got the owl, we've got the number 8, the 8th month, August. We've got the 8-pointed star, Stargate. It's a gateway. Burning Man, the way it's laid out, it's all Masonic. It's actually laid out on a pentagram, and we're going to be learning about all of that today. So even just the way that it's all set up, right? Like what would they like during a ritual such, you would be making an offering to the gods, right? Like the burning of the man is very similar to the Cremation of Care ritual that goes down at Bohemian Grove, which is all centered around human. Yeah, that one thing that I'm not allowed to say. So definitely some eerie similarities here. We also have kind of an occult number of people who started Burning Man. There was 6. And, it's also, it seems like a wholesome event. But then again, you go back to the fact that, the committee of Burning Man who puts on Burning Man and the government, essentially, the BLM who owns all the land where they throw Burning Man, make a lot of money through Burning Man. It makes millions of dollars. It's considered a nonprofit, I guess you'll say, but the people that host it make a salary, and they're making good money. They're making buku bucks after they get paid, just for one Burning Man event. Each person that is on the committee or whatever that's getting a salary or getting an income, they're making over $100,000. So that's like a chunk of change, right? Like I could do things with that money. It's a good, it's an amount. It's not nothing, we'll say. It's definitely not just we're bartering and trading. So the people who put on Burning Man, they do make a lot of money. I believe the one main guy, Larry, what was his name? Larry, something. I forgot the last name, darn it. He just passed, I think if he passed away, don't quote me on that. So, they're making money. And then also the government, I'm learning from that event, makes around like 4 million or more. They're raking in like 40 million bucks sometimes. So it's definitely a money-making event. It by no means is sustainable. People leave a ton of trash in the neighboring towns and bikes and shade structures, and just it's really not. I've had many opportunities to go to Burning Man and I just never have, because I don't know, for me it just doesn't sound like a good time being stuck in the middle of the desert with a ton of generators around and all these people. And I've been to festivals, and I will tell you, do need to be on a large amount of drugs. You need to be on drugs to be able to like handle those kind of crowds. I mean, especially if you're like me, right? So yeah, people are definitely there right now, trapped in there. Over 70,000 of them can't get out, can barely maneuver around because the whole place is just absolutely flooded. And it's funny how my intuition leads me to all this information. So what you're seeing in that picture right there, very similar, right, to the burning of the man, the Bohemian Grove death of care ceremony, and it's called Cremation of Care, actually, the Cremation of Care ceremony. And what does that mean? Cremation of Care. It's a very Crowleyan forms of ritual. What they're doing, they're going and participating in all these rituals and basically engaging in like tons of debauchery for several days, whatever it is that you want. And you're kind of cultivating this energy, and you're also tossing care to the wind, right? That's what it means, cremation of care. So you're engaging in debaucherous activities, kind of like throwing that care that you might have in your daily life away, which is very much what Burning Man is like. I mean, you have straight up like orgy tents that happen there. Okay, you've got the orgy tent, you've got a lot of freaky stuff going on there. It's all based off some pagan fire magic, and now we have this water element coming in this year. Like, I mean, and I'm not saying that Burning Man isn't like an amazing event. I've heard, I know people that go every year, and that probably some of them are freaking double agents. I'm not even kidding. But I know people that go to Burning Man. Like I said, I've been to festivals with burners. I just have never gone to Burning Man. They do amazing things there. The artwork, the art installations, I mean, the connectivity for sure, but it's very cult-like. I mean, it's a cult. Let's just admit it. Like, call it what it is. It's a cult. Okay. All these types of these counterculture groups are honestly, they're kind of cults. What is it? Counterculture cult. So, what I was saying about that is like the way they welcome you into Burning Man, it is very like inviting, and it does give you this kind of sense of like the only place that you're going to fit in is basically there at Burning Man. So, I'm not dogging it like completely. I think it's probably can be a myriad of experiences that you will have there. It can be a myriad of things, Burning Man, right? But at the roots, at the top, I guess, or at the core, because that's what we do. We deep dive into the core of things, looking at the fundamentals and kind of like what's really going on behind the scenes. Okay. So that is what we are doing. And just like my man said on his channel, my man. What? I don't have a crush. Anyway, just like dude said on his channel. Awkward. Yes, exactly. So just like he said on his channel, I can't remember what I was saying now because I'm a total dork. Moving on. Deletion rituals. Yes. Yes, definitely deletion rituals. They're offerings, you know, not even just that, but then what are you doing at Burning Man? The way that it's all set up, and it is set up, these kind of pentagrams within pentagrams, all open facing the rising sun in the east. It's kind of like, I don't know, especially when you go to the burning of the man. And then I believe, like, I don't know if I have an article here, but definitely somebody died one year, and now they've got someone that died this year. Somebody threw themselves into the fire. For me, that felt really weird. And they say during the full moon, which is around the time that this happened, that super blue moon, someone else died, right? So it's kind of weird. We got people dying here and there, not that many, but like one. And they say like around the full moon is usually a time where like these elite, especially the banking elite and like, you know, the Illuminatis and the ones that are involved in all that, your Hollywood elites, your political celebrities, whoever, they do carry out ritual sacrifices around the times of the full moon. Okay. And this blue moon has definitely held some really some significant energy, right? It's held significant energy around the symbolism around Maui. Okay. The blue lasers, the dew, the ocean gate ritual, which I also believe was a ritual now after some research I've been doing. These people say they've worked at Bohemian Grove, and they call it the Grove, also stretched in a semicircle around the trunk of a gigantic redwood tree. So that's so interesting. So. Says the Bohemian Grove is made up of various camps that promote the arts or politics or sodomy or alcohol and the usual vices. Hence, Cremation of Care. The artwork was interesting. Clint Eastwood would come to the Grove to premiere his films at the outdoor theater. But it was the huge owl by the pond that really gave me pause. We only did one job there. It was a wedding reception. I heard about the Cremation of Care ceremony in front of that big wooden owl and always wondered, why would anyone cremate Care? Was it just a license to become hedonists? Now I know the truth. Once humans quit caring about each other, the thin veneer of our civilization goes away. Then the powerful can do whatever they want. Oof. True that. So that's that guy's take on what goes down at Bohemian Grove. And yeah, if you can just toss Care to the wind, then go ahead and engage in your hedonistic ways freely. No one will go ahead and stop you. Okay. Moving on. We'll just not go to that one. So yeah, we've got big tech celebrities and rich elite going to Burning Man. Like I said, Chris Rock saying he got out of there. Here's an article from the Insider. Burning Man is underway. Oh, I think this is an older. Yeah, this isn't. Oh, no, this is actually from this year. Check it out. Burning Man is underway. Here are the famous CEOs and billionaires who have attended Tech Bros' favorite party, from Elon Musk to Ray Dalio. The man. Now you might ask, like, what's significant about the man, right? Like, why the man in occult symbolism? Well, I have it right here in this alchemy book that I'm looking at, and of course, you know, it takes you back to that kind of like, let's see, who did this? Leonardo da Vinci sketch, right, of the man. And so in occultism, it goes all into like how the body of the man symbolizes the universe, right? So it's very occult. The symbol of the man, we have the number 5 associated with man, and the 5-pointed star, the pentagram. Okay. So we have upside down. We do have upside down pentagram going on with the man. And that is actually emphasizing when the pentagram's upright, it represents like all 5 elements plus the element of spirit come together in perfect harmony, right? Utilizing all those elements in order to have a balanced existence, whatever. You're in tune with spirit. It's all good when it's upright. But when you take that thing and you turn it inverted, you invert it. Now you have worship of the material plane, right? Now you have that hedonistic kind of the symbolism of the hedonism that comes through at Burning Man when you invert that pentagram, hence my cover picture. You know, and it says like Burning Man attracts wealthy tech execs every year. Pay attendees include Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. Interesting. Mark Zuckerberg, huh? Uber corrupto, living on Maui, has a bunch of land on Maui, try to sue the people of Maui, associated probably with what? BlackRock, sold Facebook to the CIA or FBI, excuse me, who have admitted that they have infiltrated Burning Man, and I've got an article about that. So here we have these big tech people like Elon Musk going to Burning Man. Why, you think, right? Like what are you doing there at Burning Man? Oh, he's only like the world's leading like tech guy. And like pushing this AI. So this is all really like this long, it's a long push to eventually I can't go from 0 to 100. So actually, the goal is to eventually have human beings kind of believing it's their own choice, that we should be systematically enslaved into this artificial intelligence, metaverse style existence, transhumanism. And it is a desert-based arts festival that becomes the playground of business elites. The days-long event requires attendees to arrive with their own living accommodations and food. So, oh yeah, Burning Man is so sustainable, but your tickets cost $400 frickin' dollars. And then even to just like go ahead and survive at Burning Man, you need supplies, you need food, you need water, you need everything that you can go ahead and that it's going to help you survive in the middle of the freaking desert. You got dust storms, apparently you got monsoons, which I totally believe was engineered, by the way, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Right? Which is probably not a problem for any of these rich people. Hey, you can have a ton of fun at Burning Man when you're a billionaire, when you're a millionaire, when you're super rich. I've seen people like Katy Perry and all kinds of celebrities that go. So what else have we got? It says the unwritten rules of the art festival encourage anonymity and privacy. The nicknames and creative costumes basically hide who these people are. But really, this is all to gain data. This is all to gain intel. Like I said, sponsored by Google situation. So this is just data collection. It's also a bit of a humiliation ritual, if you ask me, because listen, these people paid a lot of money to go out there and have fun, and they ain't having no fun right now. No one's having fun. People trying to act like they still having fun. You ain't really having very much fun right now if you're out at Burning Man, okay? You're stuck in the mud. The porta potties are overflowing. That's disgusting. A lot of people do have RVs, but so I'm sure they can use their RVs to go, but it's a humiliation ritual. It's like subject all these people that paid all this money to go out there and have fun, and now they're going to sit in a flooded out desert. Freaking, what is it, a lake bed? Flats? Just total, like, yeah, it is karma for being so careless right now, for just being so hedonistic. Like, there is so much going on in the world. Do people really feel like it's a good time to just be going out in the desert and like just engaging in all this debauchery? Just partying and just partying at the end of the world. There's people who just burn to death in Lahaina. Like, come on. We should actually be like using our energy to like help like fuel some actual positive change in this world, support some people that really need our help. But no, we've got all these people going out here wanting to party at the end of the world. And I mean, you're getting what you pay for. You're getting what you pay for. That's all I got to say. However, whoever it is that died, rest in peace to them. But we don't know who it is. This could have been a deletion ritual also. Like I said, during the full moon, they're going to delete someone. Maybe it was someone rich. Who knows? We will find out hopefully eventually. I don't even know. Let's turn the volume down on this. Just show you like a little clippy-roo. No closed captions. So this just says Burning Man 1996, right? It was like the first one on a beach. Totally different theme though, right? Totally different theme. And this one was called, where's my tab? Here we go. This one was called Hellco. Hellco. And there was some quite dark and demonic themes going on. Here we have, okay, we've got an installation of that's the camel from the Camel cigarettes. We've got the sign hell. Okay. So well, I get it. Hellco. And they're talking about like, probably breaking out of the system here. But it's definitely got an interesting theme. Quite a little bit of a dark theme, right? I don't know. Would you really want to be like on psychedelics, traipsing around in that? I feel like they were going around also in this one, and they had, if I researched correctly, they had see like what, that was a woman wearing some latex walking around with a whip. Okay. I get it though. I get it. Like maybe it was a little bit different back then, but who knows? We don't know exactly like who really had to do with starting Burning Man. There were the 6 founders, but maybe there was some other folks behind that. So kind of dark themes at the first one. Still pretty cool. I get it, and I'm like, I've been to festivals, like I said, and I love it, and it's fun, and like there definitely is something that happens when you're dancing. There's this cultivating of energy, and that's really what I think these type of events are for, especially that it's based on a pagan, you know, ritual sacrifice situation. Do 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 do. I can't show you this video because I will probably get copyrighted because it's another YouTube video, unless people were cool and they let you just like show their stuff. But I watched this video that I'm looking at over here earlier, and it just did break down quite a lot. So one thing you do have to be careful when you go to Burning Man, because you can't just be doing things all out in the open. There actually is law enforcement at Burning Man. They have their whole own police. That was 1996, the first Burning Man. You can go look that up. And so right here we have this article by CBS saying the FBI went undercover at one point to Burning Man. They're saying they're going in to regulate, the use of drugs, but at the same time, you probably have this heavy influence by the CIA. So I would imagine they're more likely doing like testing and research on people. Close out some of these tabs as I use them. Might have left that one open. No, we don't really need that anymore now that we've gone through it. Sorry, guys. Okay, so here's like this article that it's a CIA article. I actually found this on the CIA website. How the CIA planned the drugging of America. So this goes all into MK Ultra and how actually people of the counterculture are perfect for social engineering, for social experimentation, for mind control. Wow, best kept secret since the atom bomb. Many civilian scientists and military and government workers violated all known codes of medical ethics and the law in the MK Ultra experiments that declassified CIA documents eventually proved were conducted on unwitting human guinea pigs. The CIA MK Ultra documents vividly expose all this crazy stuff. And then it goes into like Timothy Leary and how like the CIA did very much have everything to do with like the starting of LSD. So we kind of can trace back the roots also to like, very CIA, like They're doing a lot of, I think, a lot of experimentation, a lot of observation on people. It's very culty. Very culty. This is Terence McKenna. Most today assume that the CIA and the other intelligence gathering organizations of the US government are controlled by the democratic process. They therefore believe that MKUltra's role in creating the psychedelic movement was accidental blowback. Very few have even considered the possibility that the entire counterculture was social engineering planned to debase America's culture, as the name implies. The authors believe, however, that there is compelling evidence that indicates that the psychedelic movement was deliberately created. The purpose of this plan was to establish a neo-feudalism by the debasing of the intellectual abilities of young people to make them as easy to control as the serfs of the Dark Ages. One accurate term used for the individuals who were victims of this debasing was deadhead, which is an equivocation for a dead mind or a drugged, thoughtless person. Don't come for me, but I've always thought that, right? This says Aldous Huxley also predicted that drugs would one day become a humane alternative to flogging for rulers wishing to control recalcitrant subjects. So basically, by creating this like illusion of a utopia for all the people that go to events like Burning Man, you create this fake utopia. You're just creating an environment for them to be more easily controlled and puppeted. Yes, Laurel Canyon. Actually, that was what this guy was going into. I actually haven't researched that very much, but he was making a correlation between Burning Man and Laurel Canyon, and he was saying how like the military is so heavily involved, especially like how I was saying like the BLM makes so much money off of Burning Man, they're invested. So another article says John Lennon of the Beatles summed up the story of LSD best in a 1981 interview. We must always remember to thank the CIA and the Army for LSD. They invented LSD to control people, and what they did was give us freedom. Ooh! Turns out this wasn't just a bit of poetry from one of rock music's greatest songwriters. In the 1950s and 60s, a top secret government program was created by the CIA to investigate the possibility of mind control, primarily using LSD, all in the name of protecting American freedom and combating Russia during the Cold War. Wow. CIA's obsession with finding a miracle drug to unlock the secrets of mind control in this book, Poisoner in Chief, eventually leading to the creation of Project MKUltra, which is still active today. You can see MKUltra symbolism in all kinds of things, like the Monarch butterfly, Project Monarch, and in the symbolism of the eye in the eye of Ra. The reason why I have my eye painted like that is, I don't know if you guys know, but if you cut the brain, the cross section of the brain where your pineal gland is, it looks like the eye of Ra. So when you see that type of imagery, you see them covering their left eye, it has to do with mythology around, Osiris getting his eye gouged out by his brother Set, which actually has to do with the earthquake in Turkey. Turkey actually has the sign, the symbol of the all-seeing eye over it. If you superimpose that symbol over it, Turkey makes the shape of the all-seeing eye. And when they had that earthquake, that was actually a ritual. It was a ritual sacrifice where they killed, 30,000 people. There's the number 3, that Illuminati 3 or 30, 33. So that was actually a ritual that was mocking the gouging out of the eye of Osiris by Set. Crazy, huh? I just learned that recently, and that blew my mind, and it totally makes sense. And actually, yeah, so here we just have a little bit of the symbolism, which you can see all over the place. Once you start to this is just the monarch butterfly, but there's ton of symbolism. And I'm just going to focus on some basic stuff today, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. But, when you start to notice or really look into the symbolism a little bit more, like I was starting out with in the beginning saying, hey, symbolism is everywhere. Like it's how, you can communicate the unseen world into the seen world. You start noticing it all over the place, like in advertisements, and just they sneak it in there, you know? They sneak it in there. Just look at the money. It's all over the money, all the symbolism on the money. Money, 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 money. Let's see. I have something here. Where to go? Here we go. So, for example, just to follow up with what we were just talking about, I kind of found this while I was looking for something. So, when I was looking for maybe like an image of the eye of Horus, eye of Ra over top of Turkey, I found this. Turns out Naomi Campbell had from her billionaire husband had her built this whole freaking, oh my gosh, look at this thing. That's crazy. It's the Eye of Horus house. This is her property. I think it's it's in Turkey. So very symbolic. Symbolic that she chose to have this house built in Turkey. Trippy. Got the little dome, the place where you live right there, and the iris. Huh. Was she on the Jeffrey Epstein flights? I'm really curious. But that's crazy, isn't it? Look at that. So yeah, they work through symbolism. It's all over the place. You see them covering up their eyes. You know, we've got also what was Left Eye from shoot, what the heck is the dang band called? Oh, TLC. Left Eye from TLC, who was sacrificed, right? Left Eye, she was sacrificed once again, kind of representing the gouging out of the eye of Ra by his brother Seth. So it's really this game of basically just playing connect the dots here. We know that our government even admits, like they have it on their own websites, they have used MK Ultra and psychedelic substances to basically influence the counterculture and sway the minds of the young to distract us. But at the same time, LSD has very powerful properties of awakening. And if you use it as a tool, you can definitely open your mind with it. That's why it's been so illegal for so long to get caught with it. Just because the potential of the implications of like how it can open your mind and open that third eye. I should know. I've experimented with a lot of psychedelics and actually do feel like festival culture and my experimentation with psychedelics has had a lot to do with probably the super speeding up of like my awakening process. Tax documents. Here's how Burning Man spends 44 million. So I already was just going over that with you guys. But like I said, they're making millions, 43 million in ticket sales. And what did that say? 2018 or something. So who knows how much they're making now? It might be about the same because you can only have so many people there, I think. Got offices in San Francisco and Reno, but there we go. Right there. We got the breakdown. Oh, look at that. We've got the CEO, Marion Goodell, making $268,000 off of one event. Director Harley, so they're making upwards, like I said, into a 200,000 range. Pretty crazy. Not a sustainable event, and definitely, I don't know. I'd say it's an event geared toward basically anyone that can come. Like this is kind of like this ritual that anyone can participate in. It's not exclusive like some of the other rituals. Like Bohemian Grove, you cannot go there unless you're in the club. So here's the muddy situation. Oh, you got people waiting for porta potties. I don't even want to think about that. But you got to use a porta potty because what are you going to do? Just go in the mud? No. That's when you start having toxic mud. And when they're talking about Ebola, see, but that's a setup. That's a setup for something else. There are other people that I follow that talk about mimetic warfare, you know, the things that they show us in the predictive programming and the memes. It was a meme that started the rumor about the Ebola, but that's probably priming us for something else. This isn't it, you guys. All these events that are going down are definitely potentially leading. Well, I always say that, definitely potentially. They're potentially leading up to like some kind of super event. So buckle up, baby. Here we have them throwing some Illuminati hand signs. The triangle, I learned that's like a triangle. It's like the triangle of power. Like, and it depends on what direction you're doing it. That depends on what you're talking about doing, whether it's facing up or facing down. But it is a mantra of power. We also have the 666 right here. Everybody that's doing that symbol that you see in pictures or in the media, they are a part of the club. They're a part of the multi-million-dollar club. And the symbolism's just everywhere. I can't not stand people that use the terms conspiracy theorists. Like, they obviously just don't do any research. Here you have the Beatles doing a bunch of Illuminati hand signs about the yellow submarine. I forgot what that means. Look, we've got them doing the horns, right, of Satan. Obama over here. We even had, okay, there was a weird one, you guys. Remember the lady that freaked out on the plane? So that was a ritual, actually, that I think was yeah, Trump is in the club. Trump is actually a Knights Templar. I've seen symbolism in photographs where they do a ritual where they like hold on to this like orb, and I don't know if it represents the sun. I think it does. I think it represents the sun. But there is an image where it's like all these people standing around. It's like looks like a Masonic ritual, and Trump is holding an orb, and it's like glowing. They've got their hands on the orb, and it's this ritual. So I don't know exactly what that's about. I think it has something to do with sun worship, but yeah, he's a Knights Templar. They're all in the club, y'all. Like, and the way they stay in power is by us not being in power. So just remember that. That's their motivation to keep us asleep, right? Just keep us indoctrinated and like totally not paying attention to the truth about what is going on around us, which is literally just hidden in plain sight. It's crazy. We've even got Ukraine actually in the game here. This is weird. We've got Ukraine finally presented Hedgehog Temple and Phoenix secret installations at Burning Man 2023. Sounds like some Masonic stuff. I don't know what the symbolism of a hedgehog means. I'm going to have to go do some research into that. The Phoenix, we obviously know what a Phoenix does, right? Rises up from the ashes. So we have got Ukraine unveiling 2 installations, Hedgehog's Temple and Ukrainian Phoenix at the Burning Man 2023. Kept secret for several months. Kind of menacing looking. A Ukrainian sculpture born from fire. It's about Ukraine and each of us, how we've become stronger than ever, wrote Vitaly Denega, the founder of the Return Alive Foundation and Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine. What the? Okay, that's weird. What? That was kind of weird that I found that. This is interesting. What we've got the Ukraine. Yes, we do. And that's so symbolic that Ukraine is just that really does tell you like there's energy about BlackRock involved with Burning Man. Like I'm pretty sure if you go to the core and follow that money, you're gonna find Google. It's gonna lead you right to Google, and it's gonna lead you to BlackRock. So right there, boom, Ukraine, the Minister of Defense on his Facebook page talking about a this is creepy, and I'm going to tell you why right now. I see what this is. This is prediction. A Ukrainian sculpture born from fire. It's about each of us and how strong how we've become stronger than ever. They're talking about like the merging of the superpowers on Earth. And that I think honestly could be a foreshadowing of WAR, baby. I don't know. That could be a foreshadowing of WAR. And honestly, I haven't really been paying attention to all that, but that's all. There's big stuff going on with all that too. That might be what the mega event that some people are predicting is coming soon could be. I mean, we could be looking at internet blackout all across the board, which would be horrible for all of us. That would be like terrible. So let's pray and keep in our minds this vision of how we want things to turn out. And let's really just hope that doesn't happen. Because if they remove the internet from us, like, how are we going to communicate? How are we going to share information? That's where the destroying of sacred knowledge starts to come in, and the replacing it with, you know, the just whatever your narrative is, the indoctrination plan, change history, erase the sacred knowledge. Like, that would be literally like almost more worse than the equivalent of the burning of the Library of Alexandria would be to like shut the internet off. Like, I don't even want to think about that right now and this reality happening. Hold on. I had a little clip of something I did want to show you guys. So I was watching the Pentaveret. I don't know if you guys have seen that on Netflix. Check it out. They try to make it seem like a spoof, like it's like spoofing, you know, conspiracy theorists and whatnot. But actually what it's very symbolic. And you know what? They take out, I think it's, is it Key or Peel? I can't remember. Shoot, I forgot his name. He's in the show, but they, spoiler alert, I'm sorry. So, you know, they do prepare you with this predictive programming, but the show, The Pentaveret, holy crap, it was like, I mean, they're just telling you all the secrets of the Illuminati. And I noticed, what is going on here? Hold on, let's see here. I noticed there was this little clip. Here it is. I just took a little clip of the show. Because you know how they love to hide things in plain sight. Look at that. That says right there, Beyonce Knowles, Illuminati member since 2010 to the present day. We know she's a part of the Illuminati. But they love to come out and say, we're not a part of the Illuminati. Yeah, you gaslighting. Because you worship a god that's a liar, essentially. So, of course, they're going to lie straight to your face because that's what they wilt. Look, it changes. Oh, it changed and it said something else. But check this out. This is like so I even learned stuff about all, like, I've been learning all this symbology about like all these people, right? Freaking Greta Thunberg apparently has the same birthday as Kyle Rittenhouse. There were like two different mascots for the opposite teams. But I was learning about the Andrew Tate and like Greta Thunberg thing, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure like Andrew Tate is also a Freemason. It was probably a humiliation ritual, him getting arrested, but all these people are in on it, and all their birthdays and everything are all very symbolic, and they're very like significant dates of, you know, satanic dates and pagan holidays. The queen, you know, you think about the hive mind, right? They're showing the queen. This is from the Pentaveret, right? These guys are all going to the meadows. The meadows, what, like the Grove, like Bohemian Grove. So they're all going in the show to the meadows to go do their once a year, whatever, rich people debauchery land. And I got thinking, like, the queen, you know, it's interesting how they actually like pay reverence to the queen, and they've got this whole hive mind mentality going on. The queen, you know, the queen bee, right? Who died. Not exactly sure the date she died or how that correlates to anything, but the symbolism's all right there. They try to make it that's actually inverted. I think if you turn it the other way, it does look more like the Freemason symbol, the G, and I think it's two rulers that come together. Is that what that is? Bill Gates, we have people like Jay-Z, we had the Queen, we've got We saw Johnny Depp. There we got Oprah. Bada bing, bada boom. We already know. We know about Oprah and all them little stunts. And all them little stunts she'd be pulling over there in Maui. You need some Kool-Aid? Don't drink the Kool-Aid. This is all factual stuff, okay? And no theories going on up in here. No, this is slightly theoretical. We're just looking at the symbolism. But yeah, the Pentaveret, I'm telling you, like it was it's funny. It's a good show, actually. I was like definitely digging it, but noticing hella symbolism in there that they are just obviously not even trying to hide by just making it look funny, but that's how they get you to agree to the spell, right? So, oh, I closed out of that. Let me open up a new tab. And please keep it respectful. I am not going to do disrespect in my chat. Like I said, I'm not trying to prove to anyone anything. So if you're like not already on board, this probably isn't the live for you. You can just quietly exit if you don't like it. And I say that with the utmost respect. Okay. So let's get back to the whole Burning Man situation. We were just kind of creating some connections here, connecting the dots, right? I don't know. This person says they need some Kool-Aid. And I was just like, not sure if the comment is being sarcastic or if it's what? Maybe they just really like Kool-Aid. There, it's that. So I don't know. Let's be respectful, okay? If you don't like it, you don't have to be here. But if you do, please, I invite you to stay. And maybe you can learn a couple things. All right, so I started thinking, what the heck is going on? The flooding of the burn, right? And here's this picture of the flooding of the Nile. Kind of how it would like flood the land, you know, and it would flood all the crops at a certain time of year. Well, imagine this. The time of year that it would do that at is exactly this time of year. So I definitely was making a connection with that. Let's see. I've got a bunch of other stuff open. Probably we don't need to really get into. Sorry, let me get back to where are we at? Okay. So the flooding of the Nile would happen a couple times a year, I believe. But listen to this. This is crazy, right? And weather modification is a real thing. Go check the PDFs on the military websites. I'm not here to prove this stuff to you guys. Need to do your own research. They are modifying the weather, HARP, and all that. It's not a conspiracy. It's 100% real. A lot of these storms are engineered, and all these natural disasters that are happening right now are literally not natural. There's nothing natural about them. The flooding of the Nile has been an important natural cycle in Egypt since ancient times. It is celebrated by Egyptians as an annual holiday for 2 weeks starting August 15th. When Burning Man starts right around this time. It is also celebrated in the Coptic church by ceremonial throwing a martyr's relic into the river. Whatever. The flooding of the Nile is the result of the yearly monsoon between May and August, causing enormous precipitations on the Ethiopian highlands whose summits reach. Okay, so that's just talking about how, you know, in Egypt, the river Nile floods around this time of year. And so I do feel like there's a connection. I feel like they've been setting us up with all this blue symbology this year. You know, we'll look at Avatar next. Avatar Way of the Water or Way of Water came out this year. And what was that? That was like it was symbolic of like the blue ocean. And there was, you know, heavy emphasis on a whale in that movie, a whale and a connection to this whale, this psychic connection. Okay. And the flooding would actually take place around a certain time where we would be right in the 8th month. So 8/8 Lionsgate, which is when the Maui fires happened. But we are in the 8th month of August, which has to do with the 8th Stargate, which is the Sirius star system. So we're in line with the Sirius star system. Okay. Who is in that, we know that all the animals of the sea, the creatures of the sea, like whales, are all associated with that. So I saw a connection in that for sure. I thought that was definitely a prediction. And I put 2 and 2 together later, but I should have really thought like this is predicting something big. They had themes of fire and water going on in that one. So we have heavy themes of water this year, blue. They're supposed to be burning the man, but they're not. They're flooded in with this water, right? So this is definitely a ritual to mimic or mock the flooding of the Nile around, in the 8th month when the Stargate of Sirius is open. Let's see, what does this say? The Egyptian year was divided into 3 seasons. There you have that number 3, very pertinent, of Akhet, inundation, Peret, growth, and Shemu, harvest. Akhet covered the Egyptian flood cycle. The cycle was so consistent that the Egyptians timed its onset using the heliacal rising of Sirius, the key event used to set their calendar. We also have flooding going on in other places right now, like we had floods going on in Las Vegas as well. And that was happening right at the time of the beginning of this is this summer solstice is what we decided? Right when the Nile would be flooding during this window of time, we have the floods starting in Nevada as well, which I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but like the timing, you guys, when this stuff lands on these like occult dates, you kind of can't deny like at least it's a little weird, right? It's a little weird. There's connection with the 8 and Maui as well. We'll get into that in a second. Let me close down some of these dang tabs. Really weird that I actually pulled this card in my reading that I did for myself yesterday. I don't know if you can see that. Setet, also known as Setet. Sati, Satis, or Satis, was an archer goddess of the Nile cataracts. Her name comes from the term sat, to shoot, to eject, to pour out, to throw. To shoot, huh? To shoot what? Like beams of energy to create a storm? She who shoots arrows. And I pulled that card, and that's crazy because it has to do with, wow, she also has an aspect of being goddess of the hunt. She who pours, her role in the inundation, and her guardianship over the Nile cataracts. Her name was originally written. Okay, whatever. We don't need to really know that. So this goddess, Satet, she actually is really heavily worshipped in the Egyptian system and revered for her being like the source of the flooding of the Nile. A warrior goddess, she protected the pharaoh in the southern borders of ancient Egypt, and in her role as a goddess of fertility, she caused the inundation and purified the deceased with water from the underworld. Purified the deceased with water from the underworld, huh? Wow. The mythical source of the Nile, Satet, described in the pyramid text, performing this service for the king. So inundation and yearly flooding of the Nile was her main role. According to myth, on the night of the teardrop, Isis would shed a single tear, which was caught by Satet and poured into the Nile, causing the inundation. As a result, she, like Isis, was linked to Sothis, the personification of the star Sept, Sirius A, the dog star, which rose in the sky just before the arrival of the inundation every year. Come on and mess with me now, you guys. Nope. Can't. That's crazy. That's crazy. So Satet, right? Worshipping her around the time of the alignment with the Sirius star system, which we just so happen to be in. Oh yeah, they do these things to they do these things to mess with us. It's mind control, you know, but we're a source of energy for them. So it's all about harvesting energy. They understand the secrets of the infinite universe, and they only keep us locked into this material existence, going round and round, chasing our own tails, so that we don't ever realize our infinite nature and transcend our need for money. Essentially, money is how they keep us controlled. Money, mono eye, one eye, it all literally ties in. See, so this actually says, check it out. So the rosette, the owl, and the eight-pointed star of the goddess Ishtar, Inanna. So if you take it back even farther to like Babylonian times, I believe, we've got the owl, which we were talking about being at Bohemian Grove, which they do their cremation of care ritual at and sacrifice, or even do mock sacrifice rituals. But I mean, I don't think so. I think probably, you know what I mean? So we've got all that tying in together, which is very interesting. And the eight-pointed star of the goddess Ishtar Inanna, originally the eight-pointed star was the symbol of Anu's heavenly supremacy. But this symbol and the Anu's temple were later usurped by her blasphemous cult. I'm almost wondering if the Burning Man, it almost kind of looks like this, the way that it's set up out there. I wonder if it has 8 sections to Black Rock City. I wonder. So we've got the 8-pointed star, which represents a portal. This is all about opening portals, right? Burning Man is a massive ritual to open portal. It's all to open an energetic portal to cultivate this energy, an offering to the gods that they worship, okay, at a certain time of year, so that it'll benefit them in the future or whatever. So I thought there were a couple interesting comments down here explaining things well. This person says the owl symbol of the goddess finds infamous use by the Freemasons in their layout of the owl around the US Capitol building. Oh yeah, see, so they lay everything out just so, like all the government buildings and everything, all the towns, everything's laid out geometrically. It's all geometric, gematria, numerology, and symbology. The owl also became the symbol of the Bavarian Illuminaten and the Bohemian Club's demonic owl grove. The cremation of care, question mark, it's a sacrifice to Moloch. It's in the Bible, and I think it's the same ancient cult. These things don't just disappear. I think the U.S. may have been designed to be the whore of Babylon written about in Revelations. Molech was the King David defeated in the Old Testament. I can't explain or give proper proof, but sometimes things are revealed to us which we cannot explain. Think Pizzagate meets Dr. Sleep and ask yourself what the building on Epstein Island looks like. This world belongs to Lucifer and all of his followers until the return. Wow. The goddess Inanna's rosette symbol was worn around the Anunnaki's wrists like a watch. The 8-pointed star and other stars were used by the Phoenicians and into Greece, with Astarte crossing over to Cybele and Sophia, and then to the Baphomet's pentagram. Yes, the Baphomet came a little later, and that symbol was designed by Eliphas Levi, and it's basically like kind of a combination of different symbols that have been revered throughout time, that he wanted to have a androgynous energy, both representing masculine and feminine duality, right? Here we go. We have, as I said in another post, the 8-pointed star represents the rose, which is a representation of Virgin Mary in Christianity, but it's actually also associated with Venus. Venus is the morning star, and Lucifer is also regarded as the morning star. Ooh, nice. Didn't put 2 and 2 together. Therefore, if Lucifer is Saturn, then it's also Moloch and the owl, or in another way around, Lucifer is Sophia, which can also be Minerva, which is also an owl. Wow. This person says they disagree, and they feel that the 8-pointed star represents a 4D cube dissected into an octagram in 2-dimensional space, an iconic symbol of Saturn. Interesting. The 5-pointed star represents the rosette of Ishtar. That would make more sense. Making a sacrifice to Saturn actually being like, you know, like the god that you would, Satan, you would sacrifice to Saturn as being the ruler of the material plane. The 5-pointed star represents the rosette of Ishtar, the goddess connected to the pentagram, an iconic symbol of Venus. Interesting. So we've got the 8-pointed star maybe coming around more to represent Saturn, right? And then the 5-pointed star, we have goddess worship connected to the pentagram, Venus, and therefore we have Lucifer coming through with that as well. Wow. All right. Yeah, cool. People out there with some good information to gnash on. To gnash on with your teeth. Okay. Let's look at this. I think you're allowed to watch trailers. I don't know. It might. Hope not. I think you're allowed, like, getting in trouble for it. Oh, shoot. Where'd it go? No, it's here. No? Oh, that's the one I'm sharing. What's the one that's playing? Here we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're gonna watch the Avatar trailer and we'll just pick up on the blue theme, right? So we've got like the blue theme of the flooding of the Nile. We've got the blue themes about everything that's been going on in Hawaii. We also had the blue theme of the Ocean Gate sub, which did have something to do. You know, James Cameron is a Freemason. He also went down to visit the Titanic 33 times. There was symbolism about the Titan that I noticed. The Titans actually, weren't they like banished to the bottom of the sea or something like that? I'm pretty sure in mythology, Titans were banished to the bottom of the sea. So there's a documentary on the symbolism. Cool. I'm going to have to relook at your guys's comments because I didn't want to spend too much time. Whoa, I just looked at 11122. Crazy. So I didn't want to spend too much time just interacting in the comments because I would lose track of where I'm at, and I've kind of got a good roll going here. So we're gonna just kind of look at the themes here. You're gonna definitely see themes of fire and water, but you have also an Avatar, Way of the Water. You have these water dwelling natives, right? They live on the water. They sound like Hawaiians, and you know, it's like there's this battle, right? The battle, they're talking about water being like the source of life. And then there's this battle for the water, for the land around the water from the, who do you think? The government, the powers that be, right? The military. Let's just hope this doesn't get me like in big trouble. CCs? What if I just go like that? Can I? We've got the blue themes of the Avatar. What's an avatar, right? What are they doing with the Avatar? They're seeding the consciousness.
I know you think
they're seeding your consciousness like into this body, right? So this does have to do also with themes of transhumanism, okay? Killing the native to replace our natural organic way of life with this transhuman way of life, like living in the metaverse, themes that we've seen in Black Mirror and things like that. Which is why they're gathering intel by going to things like Burning Man, these big tech people. It's so beautiful, like it makes me cry, you know, the Navi's connection to the earth, and that's how Lahaina, you know, and Maui and Hawaii, the Polynesian islands. There we have the whale. So we've got this whale character that comes through and he's misunderstood or whatever, but there's, you know, this strong theme of like Sirius. So that was a prediction. That's a prediction. It's showing you like during the alignment with the Sirian star system, we're going to have some like major world events going on. 11331. I'm getting chills and I'm getting Illuminati angel numbers.
So what does her heartbeat sound like? Mighty.
This telepathic connection that we have with each other, right? Like they want to take that away from us. They want us to live in a society where we don't have this beautiful symbiotic relationship with the earth and with the animals of the earth. Like, but you know, it's the battle of epic proportions. Like, epic movie, I gotta say, epic. But there we go. Look at the fire. Whoa! Look at the fire. If that doesn't look like Hawaii, I don't know. I don't know, but there is definitely predictive programming going on. And we will talk about Oprah and The Rock and their scheme over here to try to raise money. It's such a slap in the face. Like, just sit down. How dare you ask the people of the world for money When you've got billions of dollars, they don't want to spend their money though. What if they gotta hunker down for the end of the world? You know what? This is powerful what you're saying right here. I have thought that the Ocean Gate CEO was a willing human deletion, and he essentially brought along 4 more sacrifices. He was an intelligent person, and he surely knew he wouldn't make it. Yeah. I wonder how many times they went down there. How many times? Like, how many journeys did it take? Because that is going to be some number or two that's going to be specific. I want to say there are dates around this time where things happen, or maybe there's symbolic dates or significant dates, excuse me. I thought this from the beginning, what you're saying right now. And I will tell you that, is it not significant, the number of people that perished in that submersible? 5. That's the number of the pentagram. So we have a strong theme of number of pentagram. High-ranking members of Bohemian Grove. Interesting. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. See, that's why I need you guys. So look at this predictive programming going on in Avatar. Crazy. Also predicting the flooding, and we're seeing flooding and fires. So it's fires and flooding and flooding. And what's it going to be next? What's the big one going to be?
We cannot let you bring your war here.
Look at that. That's it.
Outcast. That's all they see.
I see.
We've got, see how the blue and the red comes together to make purple? So we have kind of like, I feel like the purple lights have something to do with like hypnosis. We've been having weird things going on with blue lights. You know, at the Travis Scott concert, who his birthday is actually, I believe, the date that the Church of Satan was established by Anton LaVey. Travis Scott, you know, at his Astro World concert, which was all about opening up portals, heavy themes, strong themes of red and blue, right? The different planes too. I'm learning that there are different entities from the different planes of existence. Like you not only have like the, you know, the earthen realm, and then like you have the fiery realms as well, where there are entities and beings that live there. And you have the realms of air, and you have entities that live there. And then you have the realm of water. And so when you're playing also on this red and blue energy, you're playing with the different elements and on the beings that dwell in these planes of existence, essentially summoning demons. Like, how many people died at Travis Scott's concert? I think it was like 9 or something like that, including a child. And on his shirt was a symbol of a portal opening and people falling backwards into the portal. I think they're blue, and then they're turning red as they fall in, like turning into little demons. That was scary, that whole thing. And that was a ritual, you know what? Deletion. 10. Okay, 10. That's, I mean, symbolic number 10. Purple rain. Yeah, interesting. Purple rain. So they've been preparing us with all this portal stuff. It's a heavy emphasis on portals. When you see the worms, you know, the worm that they took out from the lady's brain, it's talking all about like portal consciousness. Portals, this infinite universe where time is an illusion, and they know this, but they still keep us kind of trapped into, like I said, this material illusion of we're not going to be okay unless we have money. Yeah, that's a lie. We could live off the earth
before your birth,
like these people, like these nobbies.
after your death.
This is our home.
Ugh.
I need you with me.
Their home. These people in Maui got burned out of house and home. They've lost family members. They've lost so much, and they're lying about the numbers. Obviously, we know what's going on over there. The numbers are ridiculous. They just came out with another number, what, in the hundreds? We know there's thousands of people still missing. Come on. We know that was an orchestrated event. But I'm telling y'all, like, this is just the beginning. Buckle up. The world is going to be getting hit with one thing after another. And they're going to use climate change and all these natural disasters. They're going to pose them as natural disasters.
I need you to be strong.
You know what? Also, though, with that whale coming through, it's like, I do believe humanity is going to be aided by higher forces through all of this. There are like otherworldly beings as well that probably helped to seed us onto this earth that care about human beings, that care about like humanity, that are in our corner. And it ain't done until the fat lady sings, baby. It ain't done until it's done. We are right now existing in this time where it could go either way, I truly believe. So we need to utilize the power of our minds, our third eye. Don't be drinking, doing things that lower your vibration. Don't be eating sugar and carbs. Honestly, that has been saving me lately. But whatever, just try to stay aware right now during this time. Keep your third eye open. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Look at the symbolism, do research, talk to people about it. But yeah, we're definitely amidst, we've got Agenda 2030. They want to depopulate, and then they also want to like corral us into smart cities. We'll be so easy to control, and then we can drink poop water like Bill Gates made a machine for. No, I really don't want that. I'm sorry. Do you guys want that? I don't freaking want that. So look at that, though. Oh, look at the symbol. Look at the symbolism, you guys. Okay, check it. So you've got the phoenix coming through right there. It looks like one of their little dragons, but it's definitely taking on a phoenix. I bet if you would make an upside down pentagram right there. So, but if you just extend that a little bit and you had that would actually look like that would be the Freemasonic G right there at the front of Avatar. That would be the Freemasonic G if you just extended the wings of the little guy in the middle. Dang, I don't remember what the Tiffany blue thing was. So right here, we just have this cool article about Sirius and our starseed connection. Long before scientists ever knew of its existence, and long before any equipment existed that could verify its position in the heavens, many of the ancient civilizations knew that behind the brilliant star that is Sirius lay a dark shadow star, a black star that is much smaller and more intense. The records of these ancient civilizations as far back as 3,000 years ago include drawings of the movement of Sirius and its dwarf, Sirius B. These ancients believed that Sirius was the source of all life, of all energy, and yet detailed knowledge of Sirius and its dwarf star have only recently been discovered by modern science. Sirius was at the core of the calendar, text, and sacred knowledge of the ancient advanced civilizations of Lemuria, Atlantis, and the land of Sumer. The sacred knowledge of the Dogon tribe in northern Africa and Aboriginal and indigenous tribes in Australia, South America, and Asia also revolve around the knowledge of this star. In Egypt, too, much revolved around Sirius as the gateway and the center of all that is sacred. As far back as the very remote periods of ancient Egyptian history, the goddess Isis has been associated with the star Sirius. Specific pyramids were temples to Isis and to Sirius, her gateway and portal. Sirius, like Isis, was called the Great Provider. The annual rising of the star Sirius brought the inundation of the river Nile, which in turn brought fertility and therefore wealth to the land of Egypt. And then also then you have with your little sacrifice, it's supposed to bring you what? Like you sacrifice to your god and then brings you benefits in the material realm, material wealth, whatever. And marks the beginning of the Egyptian Sothic year. So maybe that's like a new year almost for them. Ooh, look at this. The heliacal rising of Sirius takes place on July 26th. It is concurrent with the annual opening of the Sirius Stargate known as the Lion's Gate. So we're getting like pre-opening energies like around July 26th. And it is called the Lion's Gate because the sun moves into Leo at this time. The constellation of the Lion guards the entrance to the Sirius Stargate. The energy of the Lion Stargate continues through August 12th, right after Maui, right? That's basically how long it all lasted. The potent energies of change that flood in at this time are then available for us to use for the rest of the year. So Maui was the opening of a portal right at the time of year where Sirius is aligning with us. And it basically was a ritual of Leo, of the sun, a fire ritual. Okay. A fire ritual. And it's all right there in the numerology. Should you just go look. So really, I feel like this whole Burning Man situation, you know, with all of its occult roots and, you know, even the symbol of the man being so representative of the universe, and like, you know, in Kabbalism, like the Kabbalists who they study the body in that way that it refers to different correspondences, I guess you'll say, of the universe, of it's all alchemy, right? So it all ties in together. It all kind of comes back around full circle, and it's pretty trippy. A lot of these correspondences were discovered by Aleister Crowley, and a lot of the magic, this Kabbalistic magic that the elites and especially like the Hollywood elites do, they're all in. They definitely have adapted their system off of Aleister Crowley's system, and they love to kind of mock him, like in his different poses that he would do, right? Like here he has the hands kind of like that with the little hat. I think we saw that also in the Damar Hamlin ritual. He was like, he stood up, raised his arms in the air, and had like this hood on, and it's exactly looking the same as a pose that Aleister Crowley does. He's like considers himself this high priest of like ancient Egyptian magic, ceremonial magic, ritual magic. Very intelligent, but quite a fiend, this guy. Quite the fiend, getting kicked out of everywhere he goes because he's just basically going around and starting little cults all over the place. That really had to do with a lot of, hedonism, is like, to say the least. Right here we have a list of like satanic dates and holidays. August 24th, we have Great Sabbath and Fire Festival, St. Bartholomew's Day. So I think Burning Man started. What? Did Burning Man start like right after that? Right around this time, Burning Man started. So Fire Festival time, St. Bartholomew's Day. And on September 7th, which is, I don't know when it's supposed to end. I don't know if it already is supposed to have ended. We've got Marriage to the Beast rituals that they would do, including and dismembers thing, specifically to females. So anyway, we're not going to get too much into all that. There's definitely a lot more, but I think we'll just leave it at that all for now. Really interesting. Occult origins of Burning Man. And I believe this, water ritual that is representing the flooding of the Nile. I've got some other articles here that are very long and detailed, so we're probably not going to go into that. So Burning Man, the Wicker Man, the alignment of the star Sirius, the flooding of the Nile, fire ritual, water ritual, ancient Egyptian, Sumerian, Babylonian. They also did the UFO one year, and that's something interesting as well. We'll get into that later. It's a whole psyop thing, actually a UFO cult within the government set to confuse, and also has to do with like this transhuman agenda. And I don't want to get into that right now. Maybe we'll do a whole nother video on all of that. I think we'll just go like this now. Remove. And hello, y'all. Welcome back. Hello, there I am. Yes, I believe that. Oh my gosh, cloned. I didn't even think about that. Crowley. I don't know. I don't think Crowley went down with the Titanic, although I'm not sure. Was there a Crowley on the Titanic? Maybe Crowley was on the Titanic. He was definitely doing his thing in the Order of the Hermetic Golden Dawn. I think around that time, I want to say. And actually, it's interesting you mentioned H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah, H.P. Lovecraft talks a lot about, I feel like, kind of like what they're trying to like usher in with, I don't know, like the Necronomicon. It's almost like mimetic warfare, like, you know, the Cthulhu and this kind of like this ancient dark force, right? Which is like what they worship. Very similar. Someone I used to know turned me on to H.P. Lovecraft. And I have a book, actually. It's like H.P. Lovecraft stories. Also, Alistair up, Morgan ditched him. Huh. Crazy. I'll have to look more into that. Very fascinating. You know, the Titanic definitely was sunk to establish the Federal Reserve after. But very interesting. There's also, let me think, there's some comic books. I can't remember which ones. Honestly, my ex was super into these like badass like occult comic books. Who was the writer of one of these? He did like The Invisibles, which is like super heavy on the occult, very cryptic. But I feel like there's a lot of secrets in there and kind of like tells you how the depravity of the ones that get to just do whatever they want on this earth are. Well, that is something that I will look deeper into. Maybe we'll have to make a video on that because that's fascinating. So anyway, oh yeah, the only one. No, oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. I think it was shoot. Now I can't remember the name of the guy. I just was telling someone about this. All right, so there we have it. Occult symbolism of Burning Man, the ritual. I wonder who passed away there. And rest in peace to them. Condolences. It's just, I'm wondering if it was someone influential. Like, that would be crazy if it was. They've definitely been setting it up to remove some of these celebrity figures, if you know what I mean. At least a couple of them. Possibly like Kanye West. Maybe some, I don't know. But like, they'd probably be cloning him. We'll get into that all later. I had fun. Thank you guys so much. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Please like, share, subscribe if you love my vibe and want to become part of the tribe. You know that I would love to have you. And for those of you that already are my tribe, you know I love you guys. You are my heart and what makes it beat. I just appreciate you all so much. And for supporting me and supporting my channel and what I do. I just want to get the truth out there. Keep us all aware, right? It's very, very important that we stay aware in these times, because if you're aware and you can see the spell work that's being done to you, then it can't really work on you, right? You are not affected by it as much when you see it. You can engage in it while saying also, no, I do not accept that into me or as a part of me. Or I do not adopt the ideologies or whatever. I don't accept the spell if I can see it. So stay vigilant, truth warriors. I love you so much. Till next time, I'm the Spiritual Genie. And that's all, folks. Do your research, do your homework. Always remember, we're students of life, always. The journey of growth does not end. Okay? Love you so much. Thank you.